What up, Dokkaners? The global and JP data downloads have dropped for the upcoming Broly and Gogeta EZA. So let's take a look at everything that is coming up with both versions. Both are getting the Broly Gogeta EZAs at the same time. JP is getting the 19th Peton battle, which is the only difference. And then both versions are also getting new stages for the URZ, the Red Ribbon Army Edition, stages 3 and 4. So we'll go through all of that in just a second. But first, shout out to my boy Proton for all things data download information. Follow him on Twitter at Proton10MG. Okay, thank you. So we're looking at the new stages for the URZ. It is actually not going to be the Gammas and the Cell like I originally thought. I thought that because, based on the images here, excuse me, that we'd be getting the Cell and the Gammas, but that is in fact not the case. So shocker there. You're actually going to be getting 16, 17, 18 for stage 3, and then for stage 4, Cell. And I think this is just going to be like a... Actually, I think I have a little bit of a flow chart that Air Dokkan put together. I'll just show you there, but... yeah, that is the new red zone stages. Gogeta and Broly EZA. When is this going to be dropping? So for those of you who don't know, I've said this a couple of times. It's going to be dropping on the 5th of January at 12 a.m. PST. Now, relative to me, that is basically the stroke of midnight going into the 5th of January. This is basically 8 hours after reset. So wherever you live around the world, most of you, whenever this does drop, it's going to be on the 5th of January, except for a couple regions that's west of me. For most of you, it's going to be the 5th of January. So simply just add 8 hours to whenever reset is for you on that particular day, and that is when it's going to be happening. I will be going live on the channel to do these EZAs because I am very excited for these two units. I have been so excited for them ever since they came out back in 2019, back when I was actually playing Dokkan before I started making content. I played Dokkan for about maybe 5 months, just sort of getting used to the world, starting to appreciate how the game works. Played a ton of quest mode, but this was genuinely the first celebration that I was truly excited for, as this was something that I felt that I was in on the whole hype with the community, because everybody was, relishing in the moment of the new movie coming out, Gogeta Blue finally being canon, Gogeta being canon, which was so spectacular. So seeing these guys in action made me want to have these units, and I'm so glad that I have them. Regardless of how you feel about these two units, I think we can all agree that when they get their EZAs out on global, on JP, it's going to be so much fun just to get to run them. Even for whatever limited time events they might actually be usable for, they're going to be a whole lot of fun. I think more so for the Broly. I think the Broly's been at the center of a lot of unfortunate negativity because maybe the unit's build is just not that great. Regardless, I hope that they are going to be fun to use because that is all that I care about. So I will be going live to do these EZAs, and then I will be making showcases immediately afterwards. The Gogeta, or sorry, not the Gogeta, the Vegeta sub EZAs are going to be dropping 3 days later. So you don't have to worry about this right now, but I did say in a previous video that you can prepare for these EZAs right now. In fact, earlier today, I did farm out all of the medals needed to awaken all 3 of these sub EZAs, the physical, the AGL, and the STR Vegeta. All use the same Dokkan medals, Dokkan event medals to awaken. All use the same Vegeta event medals to EZA. So you can literally do all of this yourself right now or whenever you want. And you can get all the necessary pieces done. And then come January 8th at 10:30 p.m. PST, you literally can just awaken them in one step. It's very, very easy. Now on global, we also are getting a ticket and a trade jewel. So let's take a look at that. Now, to alleviate some of the confusion, ticket is the Dokkan EZA ticket, and then the trade jewel is the SSR Force ticket, which we'll take a look at. So 16, 17, 18, let me actually just show you this real quick. So according to Air Dokkan, it's STR 17 who lowers defense plus Tech 18 who seals on the first round. Then it goes into an int Android 17 who lowers defense. Then it's AGL 18 who seals for 3 turns again. Then it finally goes to the physical Android 16 who raises defense. This is going to be an interesting one because this reminds me, I think it was the AGL Meta Cooler who kept raising defense, where basically if you don't blitz them early enough, you're probably going to be in a situation where it's a battle of attrition more so than anything else, where he is just an immovable object and you have to be hitting him with everything that you can. And if it doesn't work, then, you might be in trouble. So I think that's what this is shaping out to be. Of course, we won't know for sure until the actual event comes out. But at the moment, this appears to be the flow that we've got for the event. And then same thing goes for Cell. So we got first form, second form, AGL perfect, then physical perfect, then STR perfect. Actually, that makes sense, right? AGL perfect form is when he first comes out. Then physical is when he produces the Cell Juniors, which probably won't be there. And then STR perfect Cell is actually the perfect Cell that comes back after the explosion on King Kai's planet. So this actually does work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on stage 3, 4 now, so they're not going to be doing the 1 or 2 stages. This is going to be a whole entree here, full 5-course meal that you got to deal with. But of course, again, it won't be confirmed for sure until the event comes out, so stay tuned for that. But still, this looks like a pretty decent flow to begin with. Then moving on here, the assets for the Gogeta and the Broly EZAs. The category of weakness, shocker, for the Gogeta event where you're facing off against... Wait, hang on. Is this against the Broly? No, this is when you're fighting Broly. So you're trying to get the Broly EZA. So you have to bring movie heroes, go figure. And then against Gogeta, you got to bring movie bosses, go figure. Now, normally I use the Dokkan Wiki for the event chart and the event flow and everything. This one appears to be a little bit confusing. I don't exactly know what this is necessarily, but it could just be that additional damage reduction against AGL, Tech, Int, STR, and Physical, and then Super AGL, the same thing. I think this is basically just saying, like, don't bring SSRs of characters and don't bring good guys. Bring bad guys. I think that's the point. Now, in terms of, like, particular typing, I guess this just means, like, every single type is the same. There's no one particular type that is superior, but obviously go for the type advantage. So naturally, when you're going for the Gogeta event, you want to be bringing Tech movie bosses. And when you're fighting against the physical Broly, you want to bring STR movie heroes. So since I don't know exactly how the flow is going to be for this event in terms of like which typing is the best, I can't go through the same sort of team building format that I would normally do, but I can just show you a couple real quick. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. This is my Tech movie bosses team. All you got to do is really just put together movie bosses right here. So in the purple section, some movie bosses, and then voila, you got all these different options. Obviously start from Tech, and if you don't have enough, build your way out and then go further. So what I did was I basically compiled all the Wicked Bloodline characters. And I was like, wait a second, why not just bring a 200% lead? And boom, I got the LR 200% meta cooler. You don't have to have that. You could have the STR cooler. You could have AGL meta cooler, whatever it is. It's going to be pretty straightforward. And then for the free to play, just the meta cooler army, pretty easy to do. I also decided to take out the STR meta cooler and then bring in this cooler. He does help support the category and the team, so that is going to be nice. And then for the movie hero side, it's the same thing. You're facing off against Broly, so you want to be bringing some nice STR units. I just threw on a free-to-play team because y'all know I love me some free-to-play, so I'm going to try this out. If it doesn't work out, so be it. I've got a pretty nice backup movie heroes team, so I don't think this is going to be that difficult. And honestly, in terms of like strategy, in terms of compiling your teams, really not that tough. Just boom, go down to the purple section, click whichever one you want, and then you should have an ample amount of characters to choose from, especially if you're a veteran player. If you're a newer player, it's going to be a little bit tougher, but that just goes without saying for basically anything in this game. So there you have it for the team building component here. But this is all going to be dropping tonight on the 5th of January, 12 a.m. PST, and this is going to be around for a whole month. So even if you can't do this right away, you can take your time to get it done. You have a little bit of time. Now, I do want to point out something very interesting. I talked about this before, and I'll probably be talking about this at length during my upcoming live stream, but I said this before we got the info. Depending on how good the Gogeta and the Broly EZAs are, this Extreme G Challenge Pack could end up being a decent deal if you need a copy of them. The thing about these two units is that they aren't around all that much. They have actually not been around quite a bit, and the fact that they are now going to both be featured along with one more character on their own exclusive banner could actually be a great opportunity to buy those packs and potentially summon for these characters if you don't have them. Now, if you have one or the other, is it worth going in? The answer is really up to you. In my personal opinion, I love how the Gogeta looks. The Gogeta looks very, very good. With this passive, greatly raising attack and defense for 4 turns, this unit is set to do some insane damage, both offensively, as well as providing some nice tankage defensively. Obviously, there's no damage reduction, there's no guard, but still a respectable stat line, considering it is a unit that has guaranteed criticals and 70% chance to dodge with the EZA. So this is going to be a very good unit moving forward for a lot of different teams. So he is worth having, in my opinion. And the Broly, I think the Broly is worth having as well. Simply, like, even if you don't like the overall abilities of the character, which, by the way, I do like the fact that he can launch potentially on any given turn up to 4 super attacks. It's cool. It's not, you know, what I would exactly always want to have, but I think it would be fun. But in terms of a leader skill, you're getting movie bosses and full power at full 170%, which I think is not bad. So all things considered, if you're missing one or the other, I think it might still be worth going in if you are a dolphin or a moderate spender, because it's not every day that you're going to have some banner like this where you have a decent chance of getting a lot of good stuff on one small concentrated little banner. So if you guys do spend a little bit in the game, this could be possibly worth some money, but of course that is up to you, and you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Some people, like, you know, if you have the Gogeta, you have 1 copy. If you're doing this just for Broly, some of you might say no, some of you might say yes. So, you know, it's more of a case-by-case thing. If anything, what I could recommend is perhaps you just try it out with some friend units first. So if you don't know whether or not you want the characters, see how they run on various showcases, not just by by me, but maybe other videos, other channels out there. See what's going on with the community. And then of course you can also try them as friend units, because surely there will be someone on your friends list who potentially has the Broly fully maxed out 170%, and then run them as the friend unit, see how you like it. And then if you like them, maybe it could be worth investing in these challenge packs or throwing in a couple stones on these summons. It is all up to you. Now for the global version, like between now and the 8-year anniversary, there's a pretty sizable distance there. So in terms of throwing in a couple summons, you have to be really picky, but you can get away with doing a couple of them as long as you save for the rest of the way. But that is going to be a whole different subject altogether. But I just want to throw that out there. So this is going to be one of those rare times where this is actually considerable in terms of a summon or two, maybe. Moving on now, down here, down the list, we got all the assets here, all the medals and whatnot, which is pretty dope. We got the sub EZAs for the Vegetas. And once again, let me just remind you, you can just farm all this out whenever you want, even now, literally as you're watching this video. All of these medals are needed to Dokkan Awaken. These 3 different characters, they all use the same 35 medals. The STR, AGL, and the physical, all of them use these EZA medals to awaken. You can do this at any time during this event's duration, which is out right now for, I think, until the end of the month. All events, Dokkan events, Extreme Z Battle events, are all going to be available. So take advantage of this. And then once that date arrives on global, 8th of January at 10:30 p.m. PST, you simply just have to awaken and you're done. So very easy to do there. Moving on down here, this is the Extreme Z ticket, like I just talked about. These go for $10, 10 US dollars a pop. If you buy all 3 of them, you're spending $30 US. You are getting 15 tickets. And with those 15 tickets, you're able to jump in to do 5 unit multis. And you're going to be doing so on a banner that has 3 featured SSRs: Gogeta, Broly, and then one other character that will be some sort of a medium in between the 2 characters. So it's not a guarantee by any stretch, but it has some nice odds at potentially pulling one or both of those units. Moving on here, SSR Force. Now I did want to look at this on my game because this has to do with the rank pack. So we are getting a rank pack update. I think this is just because the new year, because there's a lot of people that have joined the game. So they just want to reinvent the packs here to show you or to give you some nice value that you could potentially spend on if you guys are moderate spenders. So let me just show you what the rank packs have used to look like in the past here. So for the rank packs, it starts from 50, goes to 100, 150, 200, 225, 250, all the way to 300. So we'll start from 300. For $25 US, you got 2 SSR Force. No, you got 1 SSR Force summon ticket. You got 30 character slots. You got a whole bunch of medals and training items and hidden potential orbs. Not a whole lot. You also got some level 3 criticals. Ew, that's it. Level 3 critical skill orbs for different types and some training items and locations. So this is just like kind of like one of those things where, like, if you could use some of these as a new player, then you might as well buy them because they're all in one set. But that's really only if you are willing to spend a good amount in the game. You don't need this at all. This sort of just gives you a cheat code for some quick new stuff. Like you'll eventually get these when you just play the game normally. But depending on how they're going to be revamping this could end up ultimately looking better than this. And it probably will. Like they'll probably add a little bit more here. I think I don't. Let me actually see. What did they say they were going to be doing with the rank packs? Are they just going to be changing like the current packs that they have available? Or are they actually going to be going further and adding more levels? So the content of them are scheduled to be redesigned. Yeah, so they're going to be completely revamping them. The new rank growth packs will contain dragon stones, treasure items, the force tickets, skill orbs, etc. Treasure items, force tickets can be used to exchange in the Baba shop. Stay tuned for new rank growth paths. So I think they're going to just like completely upgrade the formula from the get-go. Like from the start, they're going to make it something different. Maybe to make it more appealing. Maybe a lot of people didn't actually buy these. Of course I did because, whale. I play a lot, invest a lot in the game, so I have all these. But maybe it's just not that appealing. And quite frankly, it kind of makes sense, right? Like the SSR Force summon ticket gives you 1 unit. Okay, so I'm spending $25 for 1 unit and change. Really? Maybe I'd rather want a little bit more. So yeah, all of these different packs are going to have different value in and of themselves. Let's see what they do to make it more appealing. But if you guys are free to play, low to play, it doesn't matter. But we'll see what they end up doing with that. So that is pretty much it for the data download. This covers everything that is coming up. An item that you can acquire. Okay, so you have to use it within 180 days. So that is one thing you have to remember. You have 6 months to use it after you buy it, because if you don't use it by then, it will be deleted. So yeah, food for thought, I guess. I mean, if you're going to buy it, you're probably going to use it. But that is pretty much it, folks. We are now just going to be waiting until the Gogeta Broly EZAs drop tonight. When that happens, I will be going live, so make sure you guys don't miss any of the action because, oh, it's going to be good. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about these 2 units EZAs coming up? Are you excited for them? If you have only 1 copy of the Gogeta and you have no copies of the Broly, this is an example I saw on Twitter, would you consider going into that Extreme Z pack, challenge pack thing, and summoning on that banner to try to get a copy of the Broly and try to get more copies of the Gogeta? Let me know what you guys think about that scenario in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you know when to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.